Here's an example of how fake some of the influencers are on here. When you start to get a little following on here, brands are gonna reach out to you daily, and it'll be a lot of them.
Welcome back to Diary of Jen. Today we are covering influencer fatigue part 2. If you haven't already watched part 1 of the influencer fatigue, I'll make sure to drop that for you. Without further ado, you know the drill, let's get straight into it. This first video is a woman who's sharing her experience with other influencers in the wild, so let's watch this together.
So I just moved to LA from Ohio, and by now I've met a lot of the influencers that live here, and some are great and really fun to be around. Others are more like the worst people I've ever met in my entire life. But other than that, they're nice people. Here's what it's like to meet the worst person you've ever met in your entire life at a party in LA. Okay, I'm me right now. Hi, I'm Becca. Hi. I'm a huge fan. I love you. Aww. Why do you look familiar? Do you comment on my stuff all the time? You big fan? No, I make TikToks too. You might have seen them. I don't know. I'm sorry. Aw, cute. That's probably not it though. I don't watch other people's TikToks. I'm busy. You are standing right in front of me, and Justin Bieber's at this party, so nice to meet you. Cutie, sweetie, love her. Here's what it's like to meet someone that you're mutuals with, but you're about to find out they're one of the worst people you've ever met in your entire life. Here's me trying to greet them, thinking that they'll be normal. Oh my God, Ashley. How are you? Who are you? Are you a fan? Hi. It's Becca. We were DMing this morning and yesterday and the day before yesterday. Becca. Oh, the Becca girl. How'd you get into this party? Who invited you? For real, who invited you? Thought it was hard. I spent like 3 days trying to get into this party. You are still doing the little ticky-tacky things that you're doing, right? Oh, cutie, cute. Love that. That's so cute. Keep doing them. One day they'll amount to something. I do TikTok full-time as well, actually, except mine are different than yours and different in a better way, you know? Like mine are actually good. That's cute of you though. Remind me the content you make. I just can't remember. Oh, they're the ones that are supposed to be funny. They're the ones that are supposed to be funny. Guys, aw, okay. Yeah, I think I've laughed at one of them. Here's the part where I'm just gonna start name dropping some people by first name only. And for some reason I'm annoyed at them, but we're also best friends. Harry, Ariana Grande, yeah. She actually brought me here on her jet. Ugh, I hated it. I hate her. I hate her. I hate her. Kim and Kylie. They keep calling me every day. I'm like, I can hang out with you every day. I'm bored of you. I'm bored of talking to you. Can you go away? Wait, how many followers do you have on Instagram now? You wanna be on my story? Get on my story. Get over here. Cute. Thank you. Okay, bye.
It's always the thank you. When you hear that, you just know, like, okay. I feel like it would be such a different experience meeting influencers or content creators because some of them put on a whole different persona online than what you get in person and in the wild, which bamboozles me because why are you putting on such a front when you're not even like that as a person? It's so disappointing. I've heard so many stories of people saying, I met my icon, like I met the person that I've looked up to since I was like 10, and have them say it was the most disappointing thing I have ever experienced in my life. Let me know in the comments, have you ever ran into an influencer or content creator and been severely disappointed? This next girlie is sharing the rudest thing an influencer has ever said to her, so let's watch this.
You want to know the rudest thing an influencer has ever said to me? When you do content creation, you usually get a manager from an agency, and this agency was trying to poach me a little while ago. And I went to this lunch where I knew that this girl who used to be with this agency was there. So I asked her what she thought of the agency, and she said, oh, well, they were okay, but then they just started letting everyone in, so I left. I went, yeah, well, like, they asked me to come to their agency. She says, yeah, see, they're letting anyone in. I didn't realize this was rude at the time until my friend who was at the lunch as well was like, did she just say that to you? So, yeah.
Honestly, sometimes I believe people don't think before they say. It's like word vomit. And it's like, how did you not see how that sounds really rude? Like, yeah, you're just letting anyone in. Are you saying I'm anyone? That's crazy. Everyone starts from zero. This is the thing I don't understand. Unless you're a nepo baby and you've had an uprise already from parents who are famous or well known, or you have quite a bit of money behind you, and it's like generally most people are starting from zero, right? To get from 0 to 100 or 80, whatever, that takes time. And I don't know why some people are so pressed when others are up and coming. Like, let them do their thing. They're building towards that. This next video is a girl who's sharing her opinion on New York influencers. This video got quite the controversial backlash, and a lot of the girlies, I guess, who are influencers in New York got quite offended and had their fans coming for this poor girl who was just sharing her opinion, which freedom of speech is a thing, and maybe they were a bit butthurt about what she was saying, so let's watch this together.
Alright guys, I'm just gonna say it. I hate all of the New York influencers. I think that they're boring as fuck, and they're all carbon copies of one another. They all wear the same exact fucking bracelets. They all have the same exact hand chain that someone else influenced them to get. Yeah. They all look like they shop on Revolve. They're all just like basic ass skinny, but they're skinny and pretty, so stuff looks cute on them, but boring. No hate. They just bore the fuck out of me. Does anyone else agree? Like, I feel like they should be the influencees, not the influencers. I don't know. Not even the New York ones. Just like all the, like, these girls. They all get panic attacks. They all shop on Revolve. They all like, yeah, boring. Let me know if anyone agrees.
I don't watch influencers much, so they don't really come up on my like TikTok page or For You page. I have seen videos though where they very similarly do have the same kind of outfits, the same kind of routines. It's kind of mundane. It's like, oh yeah, they're just doing what they kind of all do. There's not really any that are unique or that kind of stand out that I've seen. But again, it doesn't really come up on my page. It's not something I really watch. I've just seen here and there bits of it. But I can see where this girl is coming from, honestly. And I don't think she deserved the backlash that she got. She was just stating an opinion that she had. And quite a few people actually did agree with her as well. I think in this world, it's so easy to be a carbon copy and not stand out and not be unique. But I think people are starting to appreciate uniqueness more. Let's watch this together.
Here's an example of how fake some of the influencers are on here. When you start to get a little following on here, brands are going to reach out to you daily, and it'll be a lot of them. 99.9% of them are junk brands selling garbage. The brand reached out to me and said that they would give me free product, which is normal, and then that they would pay me $50 to make a TikTok video about their product. $50 is not a lot of compensation for a video, just so you know. But I asked them to send over the brief anyway. So when you work with a brand, they're going to send over a brief. This is going to give you the specifics of what they're looking for, specific language they want you to use, if they want you to like film it in a certain place, the timeline, just all the information about the deal. This particular product was a portable battery operated hair straightener. And I thought, ooh, that might be kind of fun to have like in my bag or like in the console of the car, because I live in a humid place. I have naturally wavy hair and I've got bangs that love to like, you know, and so I thought, oh, that could be useful. Well, I read the brief. Y'all ready for this? I'm supposed to give myself a blowout, like basically fix my hair, curl the ends of my hair in a layered hairstyle. Then I need to get in my car with my hair in a ponytail, take out the ponytail, mess it up, make it messy, and then straighten it small section by small section. I'm supposed to pin up the hair and straighten it in my car, which would never happen. I would never do that. And I thought, well, if the product is like good, why would I have to completely fix my hair first? Why do I have to curl it and blow it out? And like, does that sound funny to you? Sounded funny to me. I mean, I'm obviously not going to work with this brand because that told me, that huge red flag right there, that you don't believe in your product because it's garbage and you want me to peddle your $80 hair straightener. You want me to promote an $80 hair straightener that doesn't work? No thanks. So I just want you to know that a lot of these influencers that you see that are constantly promoting product after product after product, it's just so they can get the commission or the small fee to make the video. I love recommending things. I love when people that I follow and trust recommend things to me. I mean, we all do. We all love like bragging about like awesome things that we find, right? Like we do it with our friends all the time. If I ever promote anything on here, it is something that I use and I love. I make that promise to you. I will never, ever deceive you like that, ever.
This next video is a woman who has made a lawsuit against another influencer for allegedly like copying her content or her, I guess, feed and things like that. Let's watch this.
I sued another influencer for copying my beige aesthetic, is what the articles are saying. There is so much more to the story that hasn't been told. I've been silent for 2 years, and I'm finally ready to tell you my story. These are some of my posts compared to another influencer starting in 2023. I discovered so many posts that, in my opinion, were clearly copies of my content. It was not only shocking and frustrating, but it felt like everything I put into creating content was just stolen. I sent many requests to stop, emails, even cease and desist letters, but she kept posting. I felt like I had no other choice but to file a lawsuit. So I'm gonna start from the beginning with all the facts, receipts, and the truth. In December of 2022, I met up with 2 other influencers to get food and film content. We had a great time and texted a ton in our group chat after this. And we planned to meet up again in January of 2023. At the January meetup, it was the same thing, and we talked a ton about hanging out again. It was like 6 days later when I realized I hadn't seen this girl's post in a few days, and that was weird because she posts a lot like most creators. So I went to check her Instagram to see if I just wasn't seeing her on my feed, if she was okay, and I was blocked. I immediately called the other girl we met up with. She wasn't blocked, and she had no idea why in the world I would have been blocked when we had all just hung out and all talked about how excited we were to have content creator friends in the area. I sent a text in our group chat, never got a reply, so I moved on and didn't think about it again. Until months later, I saw her content on a creator seminar, and people started sending me her content because they thought it was mine. It turns out after she blocked me, her content went from looking like this before we met to this. And I didn't see all these posts for months because she blocked me, which seems to me like she didn't want me to see what she was posting. These are just a few of the almost 100 posts in comparison to mine that she made after blocking me. You can see my post date and then hers. This is what my website looked like. She changed hers from this to this, which is word for word identical to mine. She would change her hair soon after I changed mine, and even got a similar tattoo after I posted mine. So in mirror photos where our faces were covered, it all of a sudden looked even more similar to me with that tattoo. I even made a collection where I designed prints for clothes, and soon after, she made a similar collection. I believe her intention was to look so similar to me and copy my posts so similarly that she could profit off my business. A lot of articles are claiming I'm suing over a beige aesthetic. I have never claimed to own beige, and I'm not suing anyone over a color or a trend. The story the media is telling is missing so many details, and the way that they're spinning it to make it seem like it's all about an aesthetic to create drama is misrepresenting the importance of this case. There is so much more to this. This lawsuit was about copyright infringement, DMCA violations, trade dress infringement, misappropriation, and vicarious copyright infringement. It's fighting for the rights of content creators because I do not believe that copying someone's content and business the way she did is okay. It needs to be prevented so this doesn't happen to other creators. I'm finally able to talk about this because I chose to walk away from this lawsuit. I have poured thousands of dollars and so much of my time and sanity these past 2 years. If I were to continue fighting this and bring it to a trial, I would have to spend up to $500,000. I can't do that. I am a new mom and I can't spend that kind of money on a lawsuit, much less the time that it would take away from my baby and my family. I can't do it. So as much as I believe what she did was wrong, I needed to walk away from this. All I wanted from the start was to get her to stop. I never even wanted to bring this to social media, but I know that staying silent will just allow this to happen over and over again to more creators, which is why I needed to share this story. TikTok did remove her post that I considered infringing on my copyright registered post, which is a huge step in TikTok taking creators' rights seriously. I'm not sure why, but months later, TikTok also removed her account. So if you compare her new account now with mine, you're not going to see all the posts that made our accounts look like the same person the way they did in 2023 because they've been deleted. Because of how the media has spun this to seem like it's all a lawsuit over beige, I have received so much hate. I just hope that sharing this starts bigger conversations to prevent anything like this from happening to other creators. I also pray that she isn't receiving the amount of hate I have. I'm not putting this out there to encourage any type of hate to her, me, anyone. Please remember, we are both real people. This lawsuit has personally taken over my life. I needed to share the truth and these details that the media hasn't, so I can finally close this chapter completely.
This individual really did come with receipts showing screenshots of her content versus other individuals' content, and the dates as well were very interesting. I think it's so easy to copy and paste someone else's content or their aesthetic or whatever, but people can realize when they're being copied because their fans will reach out and say, look, this person's content looks very similar to yours, and people don't like to see others copying one another. The other aspect to it is it would be frustrating putting time and effort into making your content. It's unique, you know, it's you, and to have someone copy that. There's nothing wrong with using something for inspiration, but copying it is a whole different thing, and not crediting the initial creator is crazy as well. So let's move on to this next video where a woman is sharing her thoughts on the end of influencers.
The topic of influencers is fresh on my mind at the moment, and I just find it a really interesting topic to discuss. I think, you know, it was once really aspirational to see these influencers living this luxurious life, going to Pilates at 9 in the morning, taking some photos for a brand and getting paid bank for it. And, you know, I now look at influencers as they are just cosplaying this life that all us regular folk are never going to have. And it's no longer really aspirational. It comes off more a bit tone deaf, I feel. And especially when you've got influencers that, you know, obviously your followers have given you your platform and given you these opportunities, and then they turn around and they low-key hate their followers. It's almost like they've been elevated to this point where they think that they are so much better than their followers. And I just find that really interesting. It's like self-imploding. And it just goes to show that, you know, some of these people that we give a platform to should never have had that platform, and it really does appear to feed into those narcissistic traits. And, you know, I am partly guilty of this too. When I was doing really well on TikTok and was getting, you know, brand deals and whatnot, it definitely did inflate my ego. And I thought, fuck yeah, I'm killing it. But, you know, it's the price you pay, because it's not all it's cracked up to be when you're in the eye and people comment on your life, and you know, like you share so much of your life, people are going to have opinions on it. But just reflecting on the influencer space back in like 2016 to 2020 to now post-COVID, where, you know, economy-wise, we're all struggling. There are a lot of social issues that have come to light, and a lot of people are divided. And then to see, you know, these people, these influencers that are still trying to flog off a fucking hair mask, and it's like, really? Another hair mask? You're bringing out another fucking skincare range. See, why not start a charity? Why not give back? I'm more interested in watching people who have normal day-to-day jobs and their lives, as opposed to someone who goes to Pilates at 9 o'clock every morning and then just runs their errands and has such a busy day. I think influencers are a dying breed, and we've already seen brands start to do their own marketing, like internally, like what Brittany Saunders does, which I think works really well. And obviously tall poppy syndrome in Australia is huge, and I feel like we can use that as an excuse though when we criticise an influencer, maybe on their brand launch, for example Indy Clinton, and people are criticised for calling her out that, oh, it's just tall poppy syndrome. No, I don't know. When you see someone that already looks really well off releasing yet another product that there's so many products alike on the shelves, it just kind of seems like a bit of a sellout and a money grab. And I would ultimately like to see influencers start to give back, start to, you know, I guess spread good messages, like at least use their platform to talk about current issues. And I think that's what a lot of people want. And obviously, if it's your own platform, you have autonomy over what you want to post. But I just think in terms of influencers, people are sick of your day-to-day life. It's all the same. People are sick of it. We want to see something different, something real. I don't know, be a contributing member to society perhaps. I don't know, but it's a really interesting topic of discussion.
I think that's a really hot take, and I agree. I think we are so sick of seeing the same copy and paste Pilates classes and the same similar outfits and routines. My favorite is when they do say, oh my God, I've got such a busy day. And it's literally them doing things I do on my weekends because I don't have time to do it when I'm working full time during the week. Like, oh, you get to do that during the week? Like, in the middle of the day? That's funny. I have to do that on my weekend and like make time to do that. It's just so interesting, and it's such a shock to realize some of these influencers and creators are living lives that are so far from what someone who is working a full-time job during the week or whenever looks like. And I agree. I think some of the influencers and content creators don't deserve the platform they've been provided, because they get to a point and their egos are so inflated and they just think they're better than people, and it's horrible. It's horrible to see. People don't want to see that. The person that they chose from the start and wanted to become famous or more well known, they don't like to see them becoming egotistical and thinking they're better than you. Like, that's not who they brought up and thought that they liked. And it's sad to see that people do change when they get in certain positions. I think we are reaching for more uniqueness, more individualism, and not so much just what everyone else is doing. We do want raw. We don't want to just hear fluff. I think as a society, we're just moving towards better and more unique. And I like it. I'm here for it. That's everything that I do have today. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. If you do want to join the fam, don't forget to subscribe and turn those notification bells on so you know when your girl is posting. I will see you next time. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye.